Everybody's got bad weather.
Look at that. And we're live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. Glad you're here. Super stoked about tonight's episode. We've got a great guest, Mo Sheldon. Is going to be with us. He's stuck in traffic currently. He's there in Arizona. Mo Sheldon is the owner and the founder of the Arizona Flying Circus. It's held down there in Maricopa County, north of the Mexican border in Arizona. Maricopa County has a close, as a soft spot in my heart. It's a very cool place because my old stomping grounds. So tonight we plan on talking about it, whether he's here or not. We're going to talk about that wonderful adventure. So what's going on here? Let me close this. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Just pressing buttons. Glad you're here. If you're just now chiming in the chat, glad you're here. Super stoked. If you see somebody with a tool next to the name, they're amazing. And they've done something extraordinary for the show. Appreciate those people and appreciate you for just chiming in. Even if you don't have a wrench next to your name, I appreciate you. I want to mention a couple sponsors. Before I do that, Sean Nafsker is in moderation. Also, Anthony Peregringo, south of the border. He is with us tonight as well. I've sent out a couple other emails. If you check your email, you may have got an invite. You're welcome to join tonight. Also, want to mention a couple of sponsors of the show. One is PPG Smoke. PPG Smoke, all kinds of great stuff from their website. Their website is actually ppgsmoke.com. Oddly enough, great prices on and great things for flying, including a chase cam. He's got version 2 out, which is really cool. Check that out. Then also PPG Smoke has the Unifloat and then the individual floats, Unity headset, some lamels. They've got the new strobe system, lightweight, much anticipated, and finally here. Very cool. They did an update on those ones. The batteries last longer than the other ones, and so you'll be pleasantly surprised with the new stuff. So stocking stuffers, go to ppgsmoke.com and you'll be happy you did. Also want to mention paramotorprops.com. It's that time of the year when you blow up props in winter. So if you do, you can go quickly to the website, paramotorprops.com, buy a new one. They'll ship it out right away and you'll be happy, back in the air in no time. The show is also brought to you by American Allied Drains and Plumbing. If you're in the San Diego area and you have some plumbing issues, you can call them at 844-777-9055. They will get you all squared away. And if you mention Paragliding Talk, you will get 10% off of the bill. And that's a pretty good deal in some cases. So if you guys don't know about the Flying Circus, it is literally the perfect name for what I can see. Now, I've never been there, but I am going this year. I'm super stoked about that. And so they are, I do have to give you a heads up. There is, you can't just show up there. I mean, I guess you could fly in and just ruffle feathers or whatever. But they have, it is a runway. I'm going to show you some images in just a second. There is, I would say it's the Burning Man of paramotoring. So for paramotor people, if you're one of the types that likes that kind of stuff, they have, they actually have some big lighting things going on. They've got an area that's kind of cornered off for shooting. You can, I believe in Arizona, the rules for your weapons are really laxed. And so, I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff. Here's Mo. He's just now logging in. I'm going to accept him in. We'll see if we can get him online here. And so, yeah, they have all kinds of great stuff going on there. Hey, Mo.
Hello.
Oh, you're already, you just ran in the house and turned it on, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I got stuck in some traffic making it over here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man. So stoked that you made it, and you haven't missed much. I was just kind of going through the sponsors and sharing with people where they should buy stuff so that I can continue to have my sponsors be happy with me. And we were just starting to talk about the flying circus and what goes on there. So Mo is kind of a distant connected friend. It's funny. Yesterday, he texted me that he was yesterday, the day before, he was flying with Jeff Hammond, and so they met up somewhere in between and had a flight. Jeff wouldn't tell me the details, so there must have been something fun about that. I was waiting all day to have Mo on the show so he could tell me what was going on and what happened. But Mo, maybe if you could share with everybody who you are and how did you get into the sport, and then we'll talk about the flying circus stuff.
Certainly. Thank you. So my name is Mo Sheldon. I've been flying paramotor since 1998. And active in the paramotoring community since that time. And I started teaching in late 2001, right before 9/11 hit. So, and then resumed teaching in about 2002. And I've been actively teaching since that time. So gosh, that's over 20 years. Crazy. In that time period, I started designing and building some equipment. I've been building a trike called the Grasshopper trike. That's been very popular. And then in the last few years, I've introduced a paramotor called the Moment paramotor. And I've got about 8 years of R&D into the Moment. It's pretty cool. I don't have much marketing material on it. I'm working on it. So
yeah, you're gonna have to get that 360 camera, or not the 360 cam, but the camera that just kind of pans around your items. Put them in the white room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need that.
The other thing, and I guess part of the reason I'm on this show, is I organize an event called the Arizona Flying Circus. It's an annual event. We've been doing that event since about 2002. So this is our 20th year. 2003, I think, was our first event. Yeah, we're going on 20. Pretty crazy. And the event sort of started as just a group of pilots flying, and it sort of morphed into a larger paramotor flying. We then had it hosted at a hotel for a while, and then we've moved it to a small airport out in the middle of the desert. And it's really afforded us to allow it's kind of a unique flying because you've got all kinds of things to fly. We have airplanes, hot air balloons, helicopters, obviously lots of paramotors, hang glider trikes, and people bring paper airplanes out. And then we also have an active shooting range on site. We encourage people to bring their coolest toys. Not only shooting toys, but and then it's just a fun, wacky event. We encourage people to bring the best of themselves. So last year we had over 700 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big. It was really big.
No kidding.
Yeah, we get flybys where it's a very unique event. I don't know anything else like it that has that sort of mix of aviation all close.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
That is amazing. I didn't realize there was that many people going to go.
Yeah, it's big.
Wow. So I also I do have a question from the chat. And this is from Fly Swamper, and he's over there in Louisiana, I believe. His question is for someone like me, quote unquote. He said that wants to go but can't yet commit. Any guesses on when is the last chance to get tickets or reservations? So
yes, we have. Someone's visiting me here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting on my lap. So I think our last ticket sales are January, if I may be mistaken. I can look that up. I'll look that up right now and kind of get back to you on that now.
Yeah, no problem. I guess the question is, and I'm sure you'll have a non-biased answer, but what is the chances that they're going to sell out?
It's usually we don't sell out online. We sell out during the event. The difficulty we have, though, is that especially with the dinner, we have a catered barbecue that is just amazing. It's the best barbecue. We've had them come for 6 years, and at one point we couldn't get them. We had another caterer, and we were so disappointed. We booked them now a year out.
Nice.
I can only order so many of those dinners. I have to give him a set number.
Yeah.
And So we order a small amount extra, but we can't guarantee those. So if you sign up at the event, we will not guarantee that you have the barbecue dinner, but I think everything else should be good. We're going to limit it to, I think, 600 this year. It was a little bit too unruly last year with just that many people.
Yeah.
So at this point, I can look at how many people have signed in. I think so far we've got, I think it's over 140 people have already signed up, which is,
I'm one.
yeah, it's about 140, the numbers I'm looking at.
So
And
something that I wanted to bring up, and this is, Mo didn't ask me to do this, but there's a need for volunteers.
yes,
How can someone get involved? How can they offer their services? And is there some kind of screening? Because typically paramotor people are crazy, and you don't know what you're going to get. How can someone sign up? Oh, and I'm just being facetious. How can someone sign up to help, and what are you expecting of guys that do volunteer?
no, that's an excellent question. And one of the things that makes this event so cool is we encourage everybody to bring something about themselves. And so, and many people are like, yeah, well, let's just volunteer. So we have volunteers that help with parking and cleanup and just setting up, including flight briefing and safety. So in order to sign up as a volunteer, when you purchase the tickets on our website, which is ArizonaFlyingCircus.com, there'll be a section on there asking you what you want to volunteer in. So, when you get your tickets for the event, there's a section on there that asks you how you want to volunteer.
Got it. And then maybe a drop down with the different things, different needs.
Correct.
What would you say that
So
the
I'm just
biggest
looking up,
demand?
I'm going to interrupt real quick. I'm looking
Sure.
at the tickets. The online sales end February 2nd.
Okay.
So we do
Couple weeks
have
before.
a discount right now. It's 30% off until January 2nd. So if you get your
Nice.
tickets now, it's 30% off. After January 2nd, it's going to go up to the full price, or the regular price. And then at the door, we're going to increase it even more. So
Sure.
just letting people know, we really encourage you to get early tickets. It helps us to plan the event better.
Love it. I'm super stoked about it. What would you say is the most important need that you have for people volunteering?
So it really ranges because there's so many different areas. We've got about 70 volunteers.
Oh, okay.
And a really active group, or an active core of about 30. So
That's great.
Yeah, we could certainly use help with flight safety and parking. We have a need for help with the shooting range. If you have background in military or understand about weapons, there's certainly help there. And then just general help with, we have an event called the Bowling Ball Bingo. We could use a few volunteers with that.
Yeah, tell me about that. It's a mystery to me, so I'm very fascinated. Tell me about bowling ball, the bowling ball bingo. I need to know more.
We have one volunteer that basically loves to weld, and he put together this bowling ball cannon. And it's, you can describe it, but it's almost surreal. So you see this thing, you just stick a bowling ball in it, throw a bunch of black powder in the darn thing, and it shoots bowling balls out of sight. So we decided a few years ago to let's have some fun with this and sort of have an event. It's sort of become a signature of our event where we shoot this bowling ball and you have to guess where it's going to land. So
Nice.
part of everybody who enters gets these tickets, these little things. You put your name on it and you kind of guess where it lands. And we have some really cool prizes. Last year we had $500 of cash. We gave away, I think, $2,000 worth of prizes.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a really fun event.
That is awesome.
To watch everybody scramble and try to guess where the ball is going to land.
Okay, then I also heard that you do a cash drop.
Yes, that's
Tell me
something we
about
started
that.
about 3 years ago. And again, someone volunteered this. That's what's so cool about the circus. Someone said, "Hey, I got this jump plane, and I'm willing to donate $500 in $1 bills, and I'm just going to drop a bunch of cash out of my plane. Can we do that?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So that built to $1,000. And then last year, I think we had $2,000.
Wow.
So we had 2,000 and we included a couple of 20s in there and I think a couple of 50s. So, it looks
That is amazing.
crazy. Yeah.
I
and
plan
one
on
year
bringing-
we did it. I think it was 2 years ago. We had a pile of wind. We had like 17-mile-an-hour wind. So you saw this rain of dollar bills flying through the sky with just.
It was comical because I was like, did they do it? I mean, I didn't see anything drop. And then the wind just carried it off. And then of course,
right, you were there.
Yeah. And there was a second one, which was awesome. That was absolutely amazing, by the way, Mo.
So wait,
oh.
Is there just a bunch of money out in the desert right now?
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of kids that were looking for dollar bills for hours afterwards. So there's probably not a lot of money out there in the desert.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
How high up are they when they drop it?
Only about 100 feet. Yeah, they only go up maybe 100 feet. And so the plane, they do a flyby and sort of just to test it. And then we do the real thing and we do a countdown and get everybody out there trying to catch the dollar bill. It's really funny.
That is amazing. Will Fly asked this question. He said, so if it's someone's first time,
yes,
what would be the best thing for he, she, them, they to volunteer for?
Good question. My recommendation is just come and experience the event. There's so much going on. There's so much eye candy and there's so much happening at once. I've had multiple people tell me that have gone years and years and they see photographs and they're like, I was there the whole time and I didn't even see that was going on. So the amount of stuff that's going on, I would just say is if you're a first timer, come and absorb it. We obviously encourage the best thing you can do as a first timer is bring the best of yourself. That's my recommendation, whether it's paramotor, if you're an artist of sorts, if you're a musician, if you enjoy fireworks, bring some pyro fun. We have a lot of opportunities for that. In fact, yesterday, we started our first search for the Christmas tree bonfire.
Nice.
So we had over 2,000 trees last year. It was an incredible wow.
2,000.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. I have a picture if you look on the website on the updates, you can see a picture with my son sitting on top of the pile. And it's like 15 feet tall by 60 feet wide. It's something else.
No kidding.
Yeah, we scored last year, so I'm on it this year to try to get that number the same or higher.
How did you get 2,000 old Christmas trees?
So the key is timing. I don't know if I want to give away my secrets here. My son's sitting here, he's listening. But one of them is timing, and so if you wait Christmas Day, you want to get them Christmas Day when a lot of the vendors are getting rid of their trees.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes it very convenient because you can pick up a lot of trees. And in fact, they're scrambling to get rid of them because these vendors are they're leasing space typically, and they have to be out in a couple of days.
Aha. Okay.
So
that makes sense.
We scored last year because one of the vendors had like 1,000 trees they had to get rid of. I think 1,500 trees. And so they're like, yeah, we'll take them to your site. So they filled up 2 box trucks and did that twice.
That's
26-foot long box trucks full of trees to the brim.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So we scored.
We have
normally we have a flatbed trailer and we just load them up on the flatbed trailer. I get a bunch of volunteers to help with that.
Pile them up. I grew up in Maricopa County, so my upbringing, we used to go to a place called Sycamore Creek, and we had our own Christmas tree burning fire.
I've flown there. That's pretty nice.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful out there. I didn't know
you were from Arizona.
Yeah, I grew up there. I spent most of my life there, and I was born in Michigan.
You need to come to the circus because you come back to your roots.
I'm super stoked. I looked it up on the map, and I was that's perfect place to go and have fun shenanigans.
So normally we have it in the middle of February. We decided to move it 1 week past, so we have it. The dates are the 16th through the 19th.
Yeah,
and the reason we did that was Super Bowl's the week before.
Smart.
And also and Super Bowl's here in Phoenix, and we're just going to be competing against the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's right.
It's in Phoenix.
Yeah, so that was one major reason. The second one is President's Day, and so it gave us an extra day. So I think the President's Day is on the 20th. So people can, if you want to stay till Monday, we encourage people to stay longer if they want to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to be back on the road Saturday night, so I won't be able to stay for the full shenanigan, but I'm super stoked. I'll be there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Saturday night is sort of our big night. We have live bands on Friday night and Saturday night, and the band that's coming for Saturday is just they are amazing. Just rock.
Nice. Who and they're a local band?
Yeah, local band.
That's awesome.
They're called Scandalous Hands.
Nice.
Yeah, no, they come from Flagstaff. They're based in Flagstaff, and we hired them one year. They were just incredible, just incredible. They have a sound guy they bring down, and they sound awesome. We get so many compliments.
That's great. Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about order, because the first thing that you hear when you hear of, it's this thing called the flying circus, and you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds crazy, with guns and cannons and ultralights, and there's airplanes flying over, and you're on paramotors. And
yes,
talk a little bit about the order, and how do you keep order and keep people from just screwing up.
So this is an excellent question, and this is something that I've really struggled with a lot during the years. I tend to be very I really enjoy the foundation of this country based on freedom and responsibility, and that we are given these we have these God-given rights to basically do incredible things with limited government. And so part of what I thought with Circus could do that is celebrate that. And so I've been to many fly-ins, and oftentimes the rules and the regulations and all the BS just takes over.
Yep.
And it just becomes not fun anymore. I've seen this over and over and over in many of the fly-ins I've been to. And so one of the things about the circus is we try to keep all that to as much of a minimum as possible. You have to have some. When you have 500 people there and you mix planes and firearms and paramotors and hot air balloons and helicopters and skydivers and all that stuff together. So what we found is, instead of limiting and saying you can't do these things, we found we can set times. So we set a time frame for the shooting range. So the other thing we've done is set up patterns that work really well. So for example, for the GA pattern is to the south. It keeps it away from the paramotors to the north, and also keeps it away from the shooting range to the north. Using clever signage and using paint on the ground rather than markers and gates has been really helpful as well. We also have some really awesome safety volunteers that help with that. So if we see things going on, they can kind of alert and help people. That's been, it's a constant challenge. One of the difficulties we had was with drones. Drones, I mean, I encourage people to bring drones, and that has been very difficult to integrate into the event.
And why is that?
Because drone pilots tend to not have the situational awareness that other pilots do. And
did you have some events?
What was that?
Did you have events where you had issues with them?
Yeah, we've had multiple issues with them. Well, and that's the thing with drones, is they can move very, very quickly. So they can fly up to a paramotor, fly around them, and then go to the next paramotor. And one of the difficulties with drone pilots is, like, if they get into an accident, well, they get a new drone. If you and I get into an accident with our paramotor, it's like our life's on the line.
Yeah.
And so it creates a whole different sort of. So my discussions with drone pilots that we've had issues with, they're like, oh, okay, so what? I'm like, what do you mean, so what? You like cut off an airplane,
Right.
Yeah, so.
But you're not restricting drones. They can still fly them. You're just that's your hardest task, is managing those guys.
We really are restricting drones to, I think we're not allowing drones this year unless they have written permission.
And how would they get that?
I'm asking. Contact me directly.
Okay, yeah, and the reason I asked,
if they're licensed, typically we want to have them be licensed pilots. Yeah. So a licensed drone pilot. And
now, I think, well, maybe it's just California, but I had to become a licensed drone pilot just to be able to fly my drone. But I don't know if that means I have to have a literal card. I guess we
Yes.
could talk about it later, but I plan on filming the whole event, and I was going to bring my drone, but maybe
I'm
not
okay with
then.
that as long as you recognize that there are flight areas and we really need to respect those.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll have times when skydivers are coming in and you can't have drones flying with skydivers.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have an active runway where planes are doing, planes are doing 100 plus mile an hour passes right 15 feet away from people.
Yep.
And if the drone is flying there, it could take out the plane.
Yep.
And that wouldn't do well for the event.
Yeah. Will Fly donated $5 to the super chat. And he said, Merry Christmas and Resurgence PBG rocks. Thanks, Will Fly. Appreciate that contribution. And you're right. Want to mention a couple of sponsors real quick. Nebraska PPG, Josh Bowden. He runs a school in Nebraska, and he's got a great thing going on over there. If you want to follow him, there is an actual link in the description that you can get a hold of him if you're in that area and you want to get some training. Also want to mention maxacro.com. Maxacro.com is the website. That's Max Marion's training courses. He can sign you off for your tandem certification for flying. And then also you can get signed up for his SIV training courses that he does. There is some new stuff on there. He just recently dropped on Telegram. He has a Telegram chat where you can get a hold of some discounts. So maybe you're not on Telegram. If you are, you can look up Max Acro, and if not, just reach out to me. I'll connect you with their stuff. Have something else I want to just bring out real quick. It's the 2023.
You got one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jeff came actually to the shop and gave
You
him
better have two of those.
No.
I'd be happy to donate some. I've got one here as well.
Wait. Yes.
So
yes.
Gringo.
Sorry, Mo. You got to understand, there's been a year-long battle from last year. Robert made the cover, and Robert and I share the same birthday month, and he showed up on the birthday month too in January. I'm like, come on, dude.
You actually made it in, Gringo. That's you right there on the tracks.
Yep.
Foot dragging the tracks.
Foot dragging the tracks in February. Yep. That's a good one. I think you have a couple cameos. Here's another one.
That's another one. Yeah, so I put these calendars together every year, and they are it takes me about a week to put them together, and Jeff has been incredible in letting me sort of use his incredible talents with photos in these calendars. So most of the photos are Jeff. We have a few local pilots that contributed as well, but it's really hard to compete with Jeff. He's a world-class photographer.
You got 3 in there. This is the only one I made it in. This one right here.
Nice.
Little big one.
Oh, cool.
I'm super stoked about that. There's 2 calendars. So Jeff came by and gave me the actual calendar, Gringo. And
so
we
will be giving these out for the Flying Circus. So part of the registration is everyone gets one of these. And then they're also available on my website if you want to pick one up.
Nice.
And I'm going to send you a bunch. So.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yep. airparamo.com.
Yep. And photos by Jeff Hammond, as you can see there.
And I've got my image mirrored, don't I? So
no, you didn't. It came across well.
It came across. Okay, good. Yeah. So enjoy that. That's cool. Appreciate that. Why don't we spin the wheel?
I will be doing a personal signing of January.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on a second, Gringo. You're not January. Yeah, well, you're not January.
And February and everywhere else that's on there. That's
okay. Yeah, you're not January.
January was I flew with Walt Malowinski.
That's Mo Sheldon. That's at the slots.
Yes.
Yeah, Slot Canyon.
That was actually at the Salton Sea.
Yeah, Anza.
There's an area there. It's called the Badlands where we flew, and it was incredible, man. In fact, I flew there with my son and Walt and I. We started on the north side of Salton Sea, and climbed up. I had an Atom 80, and I thought, I'll be fine. I climbed up to about 2,000 feet, figuring I could get to 3,000 feet. and cross, and I couldn't make it. Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, I made it, but I started crossing and realized in the middle of the sea that if my engine quit, I was going to land in water. So, and I was looking at my son and Walt and Jeff, and they were 1,000 feet above me.
Oh man.
Yeah, that ATV is great, but it just doesn't have the umph when you start climbing.
Yep.
Um,
Sean, I'm ready if you're
We
ready.
crossed the Salton Sea, and then we headed over to the Badlands, and we just it was an incredible flight. Yeah.
Okay.
Sean
So no
Wyman,
more names in the wheel.
Shane Wyman donated $20 to the super chat. He said, a small token for an awesome show. Merry Christmas and smooth skies to you all. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate that, man. Super cool. Yeah, go ahead, Sean. No more names in the wheel.
No more names in the wheel.
Yep.
Just had to get that out there because you got a lot of the stragglers like come in last minute, like, oh, you know.
I want to get my free stuff.
They've been warned. All right.
Yeah.
You ready, Robert?
Yep. I'm ready.
Let's
Let
do
it
this.
rip. So might as well just fire it off early and give away one of these calendars, shall we?
That would be awesome.
I think we're going to do it. Jeff came in yesterday morning or the morning earlier, walked in the office and hooked it up. By the way, the spin of this wheel is brought to you by Calamity Kite Clinic. CalamityKiteClinic.com is your place if you want to get better at ground handling. You can reach out to Sean Nafsker at CalamityKiteClinic.com. That's his website. And if you want to just look better at flying, maybe you don't even become a better pilot. You just want to look like you're a good pilot. That's a great place to start. Ground handling is a very important aspect of our sport. Oh, it's going to be close. I think it might be Scott Anthony.
I don't know.
Yep.
It's
Oh, it's going to be close.
Oh,
Pew, Scott Anthony.
congratulations, Scott
Nice.
Anthony.
Write that down. Scott Anthony. Scott, I need you to do one thing. Go to the website, paraglidingtalk.com, and go to the contact form and fill out that contact form and make sure you put your address in there where you want me to send your Air Paramotor calendar of 2023. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
And I'm in it. And Gringo's in it.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Yeah. What was it, Scott? What?
Scott Anthony.
Anthony.
Yep.
Perfect. Congratulations. So we've got some relatively close friends, some people that we fly with. I can't wait to fly with you, by the way, Mo. I'm stoked about
Yeah, me too.
meeting you, and thank you again for joining us for this episode. Hot Butter Steve Productions donated $10 to the super chat. He said, speaking of fire and the flying circus, I remember when the candle factory burned down. It was a very solemn occasion. Everyone just stood around singing happy birthday. That's a good one. I like that. $10. John Wayne donated $10 to the super chat. He said, wrecked. Thank you, John Wayne. Appreciate that contribution. So we've got, this is in my opinion, one of the coolest sounding fly-ins that there is. And I was a little bit caught off guard when I first saw that because most fly-ins are free. I think you have to pay at Oshkosh, right?
Yeah, it's quite a bit actually.
Yeah, I think it's expensive, especially if you have a plane, you got to dock somewhere and you're going to do any kind of advertising. If you want to plant a canopy and different things. Do you have advertisement stuff? Asking for a friend. Do you have extra cost for putting up a banner or something like that? I noticed
the only thing we would have is spots for a vendor. So we could do a vendor's or sponsorship if it's $50. And that
okay.
would include a banner on the website and also special placement at the event where you would be able to show and your equipment or gear or whatever. We've
Very
had
cool.
drink vendors. We've had obviously gear and paramotor vendors. We have had vendors with jewelry that make custom jewelry for the event.
Very cool.
So I think we've got 3 vendors signed up right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk after the show.
Okay.
I've got some interesting things. So let's talk a little bit about the I don't want to ask hard questions. I want to just keep it chill. There's some ideas that that are coming to mind about some different things. So let's talk a little bit about the organization of the range. Now, I understand you have a certain time that you're going to put aside for the gun range.
Yes.
And I'm super stoked about this, by the way. Cannot wait. Is this do you just break that out during a time when it's not really flyable or maybe thermic or something like that?
So again, if you look on the website, and I'm looking at it right now, the shooting range, we decided to do that is the shooting range is very close to the paramotor launch. And in years past, we had the shooting range open at the same time as the paramotors. And we had several cases where people were shooting their guns and someone would fly right over the top of the shooting range.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that happened multiple times. And so we decided, instead of shutting one down and like most fly-ins would do, is like, no more of this. And we decided that it would work really well to try to set up times. So we have the paramotors flying basically from sunrise till about 10 o'clock. And then the shooting range opens at 11 a.m. And it closes at 3 p.m. And then we have a kiting war at 3 p.m. and then the paramotors start at 3:30 till sunset.
You hear that, Sean?
So
Got a kiting war.
Yeah. Last year we had some incredible kiting on display.
Did you have a competition and a prize involved?
We did. We had, I think it was $300 cash for the first place, and then $200 for second place, and $100 for third place. So
not bad. I'll have you know I'm a free flight pilot.
Okay. So
I'm going to sign up
for that. You
can kite. No, I'm not great. We had to do forwards the other day and I was hating life. And my buddy was like, this is how they do it in Europe all the time. They don't even know how to reverse launch. And I'm like,
so look on the website, there's an about tab with the schedule, and there's a schedule of events that's listed right there.
Perfect.
So
yeah, I'm super stoked about that.
Someone mentioned, I'm looking on the chat, someone mentioned the trapeze. We had a few years back, I pioneered a trapeze thing with a trapeze artist. And it was not easy to figure that out. I ended up breaking some props, and I don't break gear. I mean, I've been doing this so long, I just don't break gear anymore. And trying to figure out how to lower a trapeze. I mean, I lowered the trapeze and it bounced back up and went into the prop, or trying to figure out all that rope around you and it went into the prop, yeah. So it took a bit to figure out the mechanics of how to make trapeze work. And I've worked with, I think, 5 artists now. Last year we had an amazing artist that volunteered to do that. Yeah, she's a math professor, and you look at her, she's like this crazy cool chick, but she's a math
professor.
Yeah, you'd never guess.
You got to be careful with that math. You never know where it's going to take you.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun. I don't know if we're going to do that again this year. We'll try.
What about the skydiving part? Talk a little bit about that.
So we're going to have an air boss. It's someone who basically he's a volunteer. He's going to be overseeing all the skydiving activity. We encourage people to do this, but we're going to also have a jump plane on site that's going to be taking people up for a small fee.
Wow.
So, yeah. So the only thing we ask is just follow the law. I mean, they have to open. I think the law requires that they open at 3,500 feet.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't know.
We've had a number of base jumpers at the event, and that has created some real problems because they'll open at 200 feet over the runway.
That's what I was going to say.
and we've had a lot of issues with that, where they'll open real low and there's planes coming in on final, and they have to like make an evasive maneuver because there's a parachute right there.
Oh gosh.
Where you encouraging high altitude, we can communicate with air traffic and let them know, hey, skydivers go around.
Are you encouraging people to bring radios and be in communication the whole time?
Certainly. So the paramotors, we encourage the FRS channels. If you have an aircraft band, we're going to be on 122.9. So we do monitor, and the safety personnel are going to have both those radios as well. The paramotors are not required to have radios.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to try something new this year that, we were trying to figure out, because last year we had 5 hot air balloons. I think we're going to have 7 hot air balloons this year.
Wow.
And you can fly with the hot air balloons.
That is so
The
cool.
paramotors can fly with them. The only challenge we had is I talked to the guy who's organizing all the hot air balloons, and he had mentioned, he said several of the balloon pilots don't like it when people get close. What
Oh,
can we do
really?
to sort of alert them? Yes, some pilots don't like it. Some do. Some are like, yeah, come on close.
We need a red streamer on the balloons that are scared.
We've thought about that. We thought about having red flags or some sort of thing. What I came up with was a red flashlight.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
and we've tested this, and this is our first year doing this, but we're going to give red flashlights to the balloon pilots and to the safety personnel. And if they have an issue with someone, they'll just shine the flashlight in their face.
Ha.
And it won't blind you because it's red.
Yeah.
But you can see it from 1,000 feet.
Wow, that's cool.
So we're going to try that and see if that works. And I think that'll be a really good way to alert the paramotor pilots that don't have radios, because they'll see that red strobe. I mean, that strobe will be, you can't not miss it.
That's a great idea. That really is.
Yeah. And so we were kind of exploring how can we alert pilots in a safe way that's not, and I think that's going to work really well.
I'm interested in
That's one of those things you were asking me about, keeping that chaos and rules.
Yeah.
It's just a simple thing that you can implement that allows us to do,
I like it. I noticed there, we'll segue to the night aspect of the circus in just a second. I noticed that you did some serious advertising, tons of billboards and signage. Was that all real?
Yes.
Were those all advertisements that you did?
I think I know what you're talking about. The thing.
Yeah.
No, it is not real. No.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
One of the volunteers just has a fun time putting this kind of crazy stuff together.
Thank you for
no, that's all Matt.
I was like,
or minister of propaganda.
He's gonna have so many people there. I'm thinking like, dude, he's gonna have a bajillion people show up to this thing.
Yeah, that's Matt with Photoshop.
So it worked. Okay, it sucked me in. I'm like, dude, if anyone, they're going to be signing up by the droves for this, I need to sign up right away. I bought my tickets.
That's funny.
So that's your son that did that?
No, one of the volunteers, he just loves doing things at the event. So he's
that is hilarious.
He likes doing that.
That is hilarious. There was, I noticed a note that came out about your web guy was no longer going to be doing the web stuff, and did you find a new web guy? I mean, or are you just handling it?
I'm handling it.
Yeah.
So fortunately we haven't had time. I've tried to find someone else that'll do the web work, and he put together the website really, really well, and I've been doing the updates. So it's the amount of web work is very limited right now.
Okay, that's good.
No, he did a really, really good job. We just had a meeting of minds, and he's invited to the event. So I hope he can continue to come. In fact, we have a New Year's celebration. He'll be there for New Year's. So.
Oh, no kidding. Is it comparable to the Flying Circus?
No, it's really small. It's
okay. Friends and family.
We'll have 70 people there, and usually just 70. An evening. We kind of turned it into a work party as well. So if there's anything that needs to be done for the circus, it's kind of prep. A good time.
Yeah.
So so it's a good time for a lot of the volunteers to just enjoy, and we have a fun New Year's party out there. Fireworks.
Love it, man. Yeah, I think the big attraction for me is that whole thing that you were talking about, freedom and America, and just that is what we are. And that's what I grew up knowing in Arizona, especially. Just the feeling of this is freedom. Like when I found out that Arizona had relaxed the rules on fireworks, I was like, what? Gosh, my whole life. But it's probably better because I do enjoy my fingers. I like having full fingers, full hands.
We've had some volunteers. Last year we had a volunteer that brought out, I think, $20,000 worth of fireworks. It was insane. It looked like a 4th of July from a big city. It was insane. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of volunteers.
Are they coming again?
I think so. I think he's coming again. Yeah. So Rob, Big Daddy will be there again this year.
Okay, Friday night. We have to tell him Friday night.
I think
I'm just kidding.
I don't know when he can do it.
I'm just kidding. That's
Yeah,
so
we
cool.
had
Yeah.
one year, we had so many fireworks people that we had like 6 people that brought major amounts of fireworks. And we're like, okay, we will stack them up here because
Yeah.
you have 9:30 and you have 10:30 slot, so
Yeah. Wow. That is awesome. Yeah, I planned on just stopping by and grabbing a few things, maybe some Roman candles that we can,
Perfect.
shoot holes in other people's canopies if we wanted to. You know what I mean?
Sure.
America.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Roman candles are great. So one of the things I've been trying to organize is, we have this one guy who's kind of wacky, Dominic. I want to get him on a unicycle. And we
Okay.
did this one year where we put him on a unicycle and dressed him up in a bunch of motorcycle gear with a helmet.
Nice.
And I
Shot at him.
have about 50 Roman candles, and I would just love to pelt that guy.
Yeah.
He would be up for it.
I was going to offer, I can ride a unicycle, but
You can.
now that I
Okay.
know
Well,
what
we
that
have
is,
Robert.
Yep. I'm
Okay.
allergic to Roman candles.
I have a motorcycle helmet. I'll donate to the cause, a full
Oh,
face
good.
one.
Yeah.
But
That is
Yeah, you'll need a
hilarious.
In the
Proof
chat, it
suit.
sounded like Hot Butter Steve wants to volunteer. He said
Oh,
something
good.
about music, but I think he's willing to take those Roman candles.
nice.
Oh, hot buttered Steve, you're the man. Yeah, he's great. Is he going this year? Are you going this year, hot buttered?
I just volunteered him.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Let's talk about the night show. So we talked about fireworks. I'm sure we're gonna have some sunset flights and some, the LED light strips and maybe some mingling with some fireworks and stuff. I saw some images of like almost a big Burning Man type
Yes.
deal.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that now.
Yeah,
So
talk
one of the
about that.
volunteers that has been really active, he's an amazing young man. He put together a flamethrower, and you think like Elon
That's
Musk
awesome.
flamethrower. No, this thing would shoot like 30 feet. And then he's like, I can make that better. So he's been making this flamethrower now. It's like 7 years, and the next year it was like 50 feet. The flame would come out 50 feet. And then he's like, I got to make it better. So he's going 70 feet. I think last year he got up to over 100 feet.
Oh my word.
Coming out of it. And so he brings out like a 55-gallon drum of his special mix of fuel. I talked to him just recently, and he says, I've improved it. And I'm like, okay. Apparently he's added water to it. Using a
interesting.
detergent, and he says, oh my God, the flame is way better with the water because it apparently steams and creates a huge fireball by adding, and he's like, you can't add too much water. So he's experimented a bunch with how much water. It's got to be just the right quantity. If it's too little, it doesn't work so well. Too much doesn't work so well. So there's a percentage that this guy is crazy.
That is amazing. That's here we go. This is what I found a video I'm going to share here. Let's see if I can get this to queue up. My computer may not be able to handle all the stimulation.
Yeah. So last year we decided to do something really fun with the bonfire with 2,000 trees. We had 15 gallons of old gas, mixed gas, and we basically doused the base of the whole Christmas tree pile with gasoline.
Wow.
And then we had Isaac with his flamethrower light that thing on fire.
That's awesome.
In fact, there were 2 guys out there. We had 2 flamethrowers lighting it. That's actually lighting the Christmas tree pile.
Look at that. It's not going to last long.
And you saw how quickly it lasted. That's all that gas. Now notice everybody's stepping back. We spiked it with fireworks too.
Here we go. We got one lighter.
No,
Oh, he was holding his phone. I see. Look at that thing, man. That is amazing. And I bet you that was hot enough that he didn't want to take even a step closer.
Yeah, notice everyone. There's you can't see from the video, but we have 500 people around that tree, around that pile, and we're all backing up. That pile was 15 feet tall, and those flames. There's a tree behind it that caught fire.
Oh no!
We spiked you can see the fireworks. We spiked the
God, Robert, you'd be all over that.
Mom knows. Mom
I
knows.
used to call you my little pyro.
Yep.
So the guy taking
Wow.
the video is probably 200 foot away. You can't
That
get closer
is
when that
wild.
thing's going.
It was very impressive for the first time ever seeing it.
So that's some of the festivities. Yeah, just people are bring some really crazy pyro fun. We do have a bonfire. In fact, this year we scored on wood. We had a huge set of storms in Phoenix, and a number of trees were cut down. And I got a hold of a few pilots that were telling me, "Hey, we got all this wood. Can you come get it? It's all yours." We got about 10,000 pounds of wood for this year for just
wow.
the regular bonfires.
That is
awesome.
great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That is great.
If you brought that to Michigan, you make a killing off of it right now.
What's that?
With
the
all
wood.
the snow. I said Michigan,
Yeah.
all that firewood.
Yeah.
Yeah. People would be
Sorry.
like begging you for that.
Mo, that's my mom. Mom, this is Mo. Mom.
Hello.
Mom
Hi, Mo.
usually comes towards the end of the show, and
Yeah.
she wanted to share her Christmas hat.
Yeah.
She,
Sorry.
she's, got a new Christmas hat. She wanted me to make sure that she got some airtime. Let everyone
You
know
know
about
me
it.
well. You know me well, Robert. Yep,
So
I-
I'm looking at some of the questions in the chat. I do see
Yeah.
someone that says, do you allow PPG to fly half an hour after sunrise or sunset? Absolutely. If you have a strobe, you can fly before or after sunset. We don't encourage night flying. In fact, we don't allow it. But if pilots take off at night with, yeah, enough said.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
I love it.
Our nearest neighbor's 4 miles away. So,
So
yeah,
much
we're not
freedom.
going to encourage night flying, but
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. You've got Aaron Kravalik asked about an area for riding UTV or dirt bikes.
That's a good question. And one of the things we've struggled with over the years is we used to allow dirt bikes, ATVs, UTVs. And we found that over and over, people are just tearing up the ground. It's next to a national monument. It's a federally observed park. And we go through painstaking efforts to like drag the runway and clear everything. And 10 minutes of fun on an ATV can just tear up the runway or tear up a camping area. In fact, we saw this at the Salton Sea last year where someone did that. Went out there and just tore up the whole landing area. So we've just found it. That's one area I think we're going to stick to our guns on and not allow ATVs and dirt vehicles.
Yeah.
So we're allowing electrics. One wheels are fine, but we ask people to keep it under like 5 miles an hour. And part of that is with all the active runway, if you're going 15 miles an hour across the runway, you're going to hit a plane and it's not going to be pretty.
What about your you guys have meetings, briefings in the morning or something like that?
Yes.
Before flying? Okay.
Yeah, so we have a briefing every morning, and then we do have safety personnel, and they'll give you a personal briefing if you want,
Nice.
anytime.
So paramotors, everybody's going north, fixed wing and ultralight south of the runway.
The pattern for the GA is to the south.
Mhm.
Paramotors can fly during that time anywhere they want, but
Okay.
again, stay clear of the runways. That's the only thing we ask. So
Yeah,
paramotors can fly to the south if they want to. We encourage them to stay under 400 feet to the south, but to the north, there's nobody coming in.
Got it. So get up and get out. Don't hang
Yeah.
out, obviously.
And if you haven't flown there, we're next to a national monument. There's gorgeous mountains all around and
yeah.
open desert. So we also have some runways to the north and to the south. There's a bunch of private airports that you can land at. The owners
cool.
are pretty friendly with us. There's an active shooting range to the north, but they're not going to be active during the event. And they're actually supporters of the event.
Oh, very cool.
Dylan Arrow is actually the owner, and they might come down. They threatened every year to bring their helicopter down and strafe our shooting range.
No kidding.
They haven't done it, but
Wow.
we're always hoping. So
That's very cool. Yep. Motown.
yeah, so if you look at the map, we're fairly close to Phoenix and Tucson. We're sort of located between those two.
Yep.
And you can see that Highway 8 to the south. We encourage people, do not drive up Highway 8. It looks shorter, and the maps will want to take you that route to basically get off from the 8 and head north. It is extremely rough. It's 4-wheel drive only from the south. What you want to do is head to Mobile from the north at 238. And the directions are very clear on the website.
Okay, so you would take Dead
Yeah.
Cow Road and then south on the south of the 238.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
we have signage all along the highway there and all along the road with markers that tell you how far you are and where to go. And so take a left turn here, you're 6 miles away. Yeah.
Perfect.
But if you come from the south, you're kind of, it seems quicker. Yeah, people have destroyed their trucks and got stuck really bad.
Yeah, I heard that you redid the road, so that's cool.
Yes, so the road, we had a lot of rain and storms this summer, and the road got washed out to the north and the south, and we did a lot of work to clear those out. They're really good now. So
Love
you
it,
can
man.
bring your RV down.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Bringing the
Good.
RV. Super stoked, man.
Yeah.
Any other questions in the chat for our guests? I do want to mention a couple of sponsors. One of those iFly Indiana powered paragliding. If you're in the Indiana area, there's a great group of people there that will teach you how to fly. Their website is iflyindiana.com. And you can reach out to Kevin. He's the one that runs the show over there. And he will get you all set up. iflyindiana.com. Also, the show is brought to you by Lone Star Paramotor. If you're in the Lone Star state of Texas, you can reach out to Ron Turan and his team. You can have world-class training there at this great place in Texas. LoneStarParamotor.com is the website. Sign up with them and you'll not be disappointed. Also want to mention Resurgence PPG. They are a sponsor of the show. If you're interested in supporting our men and women of uniform, you can make a tax-deductible donation to resurgenceppg.com. And when you donate, you're sponsoring those who have put their lives on the line for your freedom. You can reach out to Todd Scandrett at resurgenceppg.com. And I encourage you to do that. They're a 501c3, so you can take care of all your tax stuff before the end of the year. You can make your contribution there and maybe get a wounded vet up in the air or something. It'd be super cool. Yeah. Any other questions in the chat for the flying circus, Sean?
There was one that was sent much earlier in the chat that they were discussing about the ATVs and all that, and you covered that very well. They were asking about an electric golf cart, if they would be allowed to use that there.
So the bigger issue is the type of wheels that are on it. If it's got knobby wheels, no. If it's got smooth wheels, no problem. In fact, yeah. So electric with smooth wheels, no problem. That's why the one wheels are really cool, because those wheels are so smooth, they don't disturb the ground.
They actually fix the ground, the one wheels.
Yeah. Same with bicycles. We can bring your bike. We don't encourage electric bikes that have knobby tires. If you got smooth tires, you're good.
Hot Butter Steve Productions donated $5 to the super chat. He said, "Thanks for being such a great host this year, Mo. It was really amazing to meet you and fly out of Motown."
Cool. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
There was one other question about how to pay for things there. We do have a food vendor that's going to be there the entire event. They accept cards and cash. So I think we accept most of the vendors are going to do cards and cash too, or just major forms of payment. So
the food is awesome there. I'm just saying, the food is great. If you normally you go to a vendor here in Ohio, it's like, okay, that was decent. No, they got good food out there. You may be out in the middle of nowhere and you may be able to see every single star. There's good food there. That makes it worth everything.
So we have an amazing vendor, Big Papa's concessions. They're coming again this year. It really should be called Big Mama, because Mama is way bigger than Big Papa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but the
funny.
food it's really good, and it's not just the variety and quantities are big, and they're reasonably priced. It is fair food, but it's like fair pricing. But yeah, it's good food. And then we really encourage you to sign up, get the barbecue banquet. It's $30, and it's like our cost is like $30.
And that comes with the whole shenanigan,
It does.
right?
Yeah, you get the whole enchilada.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That includes the dinner and includes
Yeah.
all the other kind of cool things you can get for the event.
Yeah, the cannonball bingo. I got that. I
Mhm.
signed up for that. I'm pretty excited about this.
Cool.
I don't get to go to
meeting
many
you there.
fly-ins. What's that?
Oh, I look forward to meeting you there.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. We typically will go to the Salton Sea fly-in, and I know there's a whole group that will go there, and then they migrate over to
Mhm.
the thing. But this year I won't be able to go to the Salton Sea, so the time off of work is going to be the Flying Circus. We're going to do it up full shenanigan.
Cool.
No, we're not holding back punches. We're doing the full thing, and I'm going to bring the GoPro. We're going to put it on the YouTube channel and everything.
Nice.
Yeah. So by the way, speaking of YouTube channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, you should subscribe to the channel. Paraglidingtalk.com is the website if you want to invite people to watch the show. And if you want to support the show on Patreon or PayPal, you could do that to keep the show going for the price of a cup of coffee. You can learn something that might change your flying experience or keep you safe. And maybe you're just going to contribute so you can keep the show going for other people. But do something nice, and nice things happen to you. That's a biblical facet. You reap what you sow. So sow into good things. And I'm super stoked. Can't wait to come and fly with you, and looking forward to future friendship with Mo. Mo, thank you for taking the time to come on the show. We're going to go to the after show. It doesn't mean you have to run away, but we're going to go to the after show, and we'll invite the people. If you guys want to share the link, we'll hang out for just a few more minutes. And so you can jump in. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you. That was such a quick show. Can't believe how fast that thing sped by.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So we'll hang out again soon, and maybe we'll do a show after the Flying Circus and talk about the shenanigans and share our stories. So have a great night. Thank you for watching. And as always,
Christmas, everybody.
yeah, Merry Christmas. I
Merry
won't see you
Christmas.
guys until the next one, until after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.